Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 717 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am, of course, joined today by Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And Rob Roseboom.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, everything is easy. Everything's cool. Everything's
awesome.
fine. There's no problems. Let's talk about 477-mile-long lightning.
Please, can we?
Wait. First, we have to announce the launch of the Robert Roseboom Every Hit podcast, or what were we going to call it? All the hits.
I am not sure we came up with a great name yet, but that'll be a working title.
Yeah, where it details all of the travails in the Roseboom house.
The passion of the Zen.
The passion of the Zen. Yeah. I mean,
the ups and downs of the roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Strap in.
Or, the subtitle can be "Get into a million subs or die trying."
There's only one way this goes, guys.
There's only one way this goes.
I hate to say it. I do. Well, anyway, this story is...
that's exciting.
It's a little messy because they're like, it's only really, I think, because we have better tracking now that we're measuring this sort of thing. It might be more common than we thought. But still, 477-mile-long lightning, that's just neat.
Hold on, I'm signing into the Washington Post site.
You mean incognito mode?
No, my wife has an account.
I had an account for years over there.
I bet you did.
I did.
Ooh, look at that.
Right?
And look, it's over Texas and Houston.
That's a lot of lightning there.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's beautiful, though. Isn't that cool?
It is cool. I just thought that was neat. They said that they had measured like a 440-mile one, but this one's bigger.
It's a breaching whale, although he's barfing because he ate some bad dolphin.
Are you Rorschaching lightning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I didn't share the tab. Yeah, so here's the whale breaching from the ocean.
All right, I buy it.
And then he's barfing.
I just figured it was like, how they have that big trash pile in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I figured this was just all of our collective dignity from reality TV that is amassed and slowly dissipates.
We're going to need to increase the prayer wall over Louisiana.
Right, how common are megaflashes? Well, when a Kardashian dates Pete Davidson, megaflash.
Oh, there's a flash.
Oh, yep.
As everyone goes.
Yep. That all checks out.
That all checks out.
Yeah.
All right. We got a picture of a black hole. Kinda. I did like reading the angry pedant on Twitter. That is not a photograph. It is a representation of a lot of data. It isn't a camera. We didn't take a picture of it with our Nikon.
Looks a little bit like a Krispy Kreme donut.
Right?
Yeah, like before you've had your coffee. That's what that looks like.
My favorite comment on this entirely
is coming down to grab you in the War of the Worlds.
Ooh, the claw. My favorite comment that I read about this was that at long last, scientists have looked at the galaxy's beehole.
This is the butthole cut of the radio astronomer.
That's right. There's actually a giant negative energy cat on the other side.
They've learned their lesson from cats. It's good.
Put buttholes on everything.
Yeah.
So what cracks me up about this is then they have this chart and they're like, listen, here's a real black hole, and then there's this one.
Wait, this one's little?
Yeah, Sagittarius A is 4 solar masses, 4 million solar masses, and Messier 87 is 6.5.
Well, which one's the galaxy one?
Probably the.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just had those backwards then, because I would be under the impression that a beehole that would be at the center of a galaxy would be among the larger beeholes that we've noticed.
It's big. I mean, 4 million solar masses is nothing to laugh at, right? But I mean, it's no Messier 87 star,
right?
Is the star like an asterisk saying we kind of made this shit up? I mean, what's the asterisk?
The asterisk is fudge factor.
Oh, okay.
It's
They don't know
see
how to
the
spell it.
appendix, where it's like just a bunch of
Yeah.
tarot cards.
Every time they get a guy next to it to measure it, they just gets crushed. So they're having a really hard time. But
All right, I'm gonna Google this thing.
He
Maybe
comes.
it means. Oh, I know what it is. And I bet you this is true. I'm happy to look this up. It's Sagittarius A is the name of the solar system or galaxy that it's part of, and the asterisk means it's the butthole.
Oh, that's the symbol.
It's
Like
the
the
symbol
like the
for
flag,
Great Cosmic Black
like
Hole.
on Community.
Yes, that's what that is. It's like in Breakfast of Champions, right? Where there's suddenly an asterisk the size of half the page.
E pluribus anus. Let's see. Christopher Walken.
True. It is true.
That's awesome.
We're like the Dan Brown of symbols that mean the rear end. Oh boy.
Oh, we lost us. Well, let's see. Christopher Walken is going to get to play the Emperor in Dune
Twice.
Part 2.
Twice. We have.
Yeah, we have that twice.
We have Christopher Walken, and then we have Christopher Walken.
Right.
Playing Emperor Shaddam the 4th and the 5th, it turns out. No.
I like the second title better. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
One of them I edited, and the other one I just auto bookmarked.
Wait, which one's the second one? Is this the second one, or is this the second one?
It's hard.
I assume the short one is the second one.
Oh,
so you prefer the short one? Because I think the bottom one is. I mean, it gives you the information you need. You could have just said Christopher Walken to play Emperor Shaddam the 4th. We know which movie. We don't need that.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that name, right?
Yeah,
but still might want to go see the movie.
In the universe of people who exist and are subscribed to our subreddit.
Amongst that very accurate.
You might have me there.
We might have a sampling problem.
In fact, you could just say, this guy to play, the boss man in Dune 2, D2. You could really reduce this.
Look, man, we could argue all day about the title, or we could just say
it would be 1999.
I think he could do a good job in this role.
The spice must flow. Like I can't wait to hear his delivery. Right?
Irulan, I think we have to kill the Fremen.
So he was in Severance, and good in Severance.
I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, what are you even doing with your life?
I got a lot going down, man.
I get it.
Yeah, like taking care of business.
TCB.
I haven't seen it either.
I transferred VPs, moved my group, dealing with all the reorg stuff. Kids coming home from college. Kid got COVID during the drive home. Other kid finally tested negative. Wife tested negative. Good. This is all good. But it's like,
did you test negative yet?
Not yet. I'm still a big bright line.
Lucky you.
It's taken about 12 days for us to start testing negative. It's all, and I'm like,
I want to talk about something, but I won't.
I had to cancel my appearance.
Rob knows what I want to talk about, but I won't.
What do you want to talk about?
We'll talk later.
Okay.
So scientists have been growing plants in Apollo collected lunar regolith, and you would be shocked to learn that they don't grow so good.
Yeah.
They had to add nutrients, an atmosphere, fertilizer, seeds.
And Matt Damon was on Mars. So.
Yeah.
Well, remember, he used poop.
I know, and he was on Mars, but so nobody thought about it.
Yeah, they didn't know if it would work the same on the moon
or on Earth, because that's where this test is. But no, they have some pictures of the stuff they were growing, and it grows all weird and funky, but kind of works. Not a super exciting result, I think, but they did.
Well, and that particular plant is extremely hardy and easy to grow.
Right.
What is it? Is it kale or something?
I can't remember the scientific
name. Yeah, it was
name,
something that I didn't sound like I would want to eat.
Oh, it's a watercress.
Yeah.
So you could eat it, which is good. It's called a mouse ear cress. This is the stuff that pokes out of your deck
Yeah.
Especially Roberts.
No,
In the many dogs
out of my deck anymore.
Dog-sized holes.
Sorry, the size of your house.
Like sand.
They're small flowering plants related to cabbage and mustard. There you go.
Well, maybe someday they'll grow them on the moon, but maybe not.
Sharing the window with Sharon.
So let's see. We've got another story of a weird airplane crash. Is this you, Rob?
Yeah, it didn't crash though.
Yeah.
It landed.
Oh.
It's like you hate people who are scrappy and save the day. You know. You only
No.
like horror movies, I bet.
I only got time for Sully.
So this guy's in the front seat with the pilot. Pilot becomes incoherent and unable to fly the plane. And dude's like, air traffic control, this is Bob.
Help.
I can't fly a plane. I can see the coast of Florida.
I've got a serious situation here.
Yeah. And they talk him down. They talk him up the coast. They talk him to the airport, and he lands successfully. And they end up having to transfer him because they're worried that they'd lose contact.
Wow,
So
sure.
I can imagine what that call was like. Like, hey, I got this guy in a plane who doesn't know how to fly. I'm handing him off to you.
Hey,
good luck.
I'd like to think that were Chris to be in that chair, he would be like, no problem. I had Flight Simulator running on my 3080 for a while with the ray tracing on. I'm fine. Let's go.
I've been preparing for this.
Is there no one else in this plane?
I have many advanced degrees.
I don't know. I'd like to think that I could handle it, but I would definitely be calling these guys saying, yo, I am not a pilot. Can you help?
Yeah.
I would hope that's what you would say. You know,
like I think you could probably do it. The issue would be, I think, nerves, because remember they did this experiment on Mythbusters one time.
Yeah.
But they did it with a jet, and Adam was able to be calm enough and actually listen to things that he landed the simulator okay, which was amazing. So I think it's doable if you're calm-headed, but I mean, just think about you were in that plane, the pilot goes, you're not in a simulator, this is, oh my God, I'm almost assuredly going to die.
Yep.
Now try to listen to instructions.
No.
That guy would make an awesome soldier or, emergency room doctor or anything. You have to operate with high levels of adrenaline.
I would the one thing I would say about this, having no actual basis for this, but like whenever I try to do one of the like big VR car driving simulator things, I can't do it. And I can drive a car just fine.
You're saying that you're the guy to fly the plane.
No, I'm saying that I think that a real plane, not for the anxiety of it, but a real plane might be easier than a simulator on some level. Just because, like with the VR car thing, you don't have like you don't feel any of the momentum. You don't like, and then any latency between the control and the screen. Like I remember in Vegas riding one of those big fancy simulators and just crashing the car over and over and over again because my brain couldn't connect, not feeling it.
Well, in some ways, you're so familiar with what a car is and how it works,
Right?
but you're not with a plane.
That's true.
So there's probably no uncanny valley to fall into. Right?
Well, there's probably a lot of uncanny valleys that I would face first straight into.
Well, I could probably handle it if it was a plane because I know the basic controls. I've actually flown a GA plane before. I've not landed it, but it's not the end of the world. But a helicopter, I'd be the deadest person in Dead Town. There's no way I'm coming away from that one.
Helicopters terrify me.
Oh,
yeah, a lot more to control in the helicopters. And to go to the plane thing, it's like driving a boat or driving a plane are relatively easy.
Yeah.
If everything is smooth, right?
Right. And if it's a decent day, and it sounds like it was a good day for this
it's the landing and docking that is issue.
Yeah.
Or, rough weather becomes the issue, knowing where to point the nose of your boat, knowing how to adjust to
especially your boat.
Yeah, right.
You got a PhD in not crashing into the dock.
Well, I have probably 12 inches of clearance all the way around.
Oh, you're
So
fine.
yeah.
And there's only like a 30% chance that the engine is gonna cut out.
Right.
That's an adventure. Uh, so Russia has been putting computer chips from dishwashers and refrigerators in their tanks, uh, according to something which is definitely true.
I
Well,
have a question for you. If you
Okay.
have a quarter of your tanks rotting in a field in Ukraine, couldn't you just pull some spare parts from the broken ones?
Mm.
well, I read this and I thought that's probably true, but it's like one of those things where how bad really is that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have a
Yeah.
sense of
Like,
that.
like, like I understand that that's probably not your usual vendor, but does it matter?
But I mean,
Like,
an
like
ESP32 is an ESP32,
I would assume all those chips have to go through some sort of quality assurance standard. So is it worse than the usual military contractor they've got doing it?
I mean, yeah,
Probably
and who would
not.
you rather trust? Samsung's dishwasher
Right.
quality control line or,
Yeah. Because they don't want to
Shrevletov's
return your fridge.
tank
They don't want to send
control,
repairmen. They want their stuff to work.
right?
Plus, let's be honest about this. The chips we're talking about were going into Russian tanks that were designed before we were born. So at
Well, I mean,
best,
yeah,
they're like a knockoff 6502 in there. We're
Yeah.
not like you can get those from other sources.
So
I mean,
I'm
the
sure this is happening, but
P80 is
this is
newer.
this is one of those stories that
Well,
I'm
70.
sure this is happening, but you know, it 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 isn't as shocking or as impactful as you might believe, I think.
Yeah.
There's a related story that I didn't put up, but they were saying that they found like consumer grade GPSs taped inside of a crashed fighter jet cockpit. And the assumption that that was being made was that the Russian navigation is so bad now that they're just taping GPS sensors in their cockpits to steer, to aim. What they should do is get that dude who landed that plane and didn't know how to fly. He should
Yeah, he's now the Sky Marshal of the Soviet Union.
the ghost of the skies or whatever. Didn't that guy
Yeah,
get
that's it.
disproven?
That's the new show. Forget the guy who jumps out of planes. The new show is this dude who didn't know how to fly a plane and landed it, and then the guy who crashed his plane 7 times.
Do you think
Right?
we could? Can we
Yeah, 'cause
find
that could be
6
like
more?
it could be like a buddy comedy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Odd Couple, but with aviation.
Yeah, like at the end of every episode, the guy who supposedly can fly a plane starts flying it and things go haywire, and then eventually the guy who's like, "Well, I landed once or whatever."
This is
Then
why
he
you're my
saves the day.
creative writing partner, Robert Rowe.
Yeah, thank you.
Ingenious.
There's a Resident Evil trailer.
Premiering this fall on NBC. Resident Evil, yeah, there's a trailer.
Do we care about
Honestly,
Resident Evil?
I don't,
I've
and
never
I
I found
seen
the
one that's
trailer
good.
strangely lame.
I watched the
Watch it.
Raccoon City movie that they did what a couple of years ago now
Yeah.
when they started to try to reboot everything. Um, in that movie, as far as the Resident Evil movies go, wasn't that great. So there you go. For the Resident Evil movies, this was not one of the better ones.
Well, they do a
Uh,
time jump
Oh no.
and they go to London here.
yeah.
The thing about Resident Evil movies that always crack me up, I'm like, each movie, they're in a brand new place that hasn't been hit somehow by this globe spanning zombie apocalypse. Like, oh, look, it's downtown Tokyo 5 years later. Everything's cool. Oh, oops, zombie. And it's like, that was lazy. This is probably all happening at the same time.
I don't know. North Korea is just getting COVID now, apparently.
They're just telling us.
Snicker, snicker. I mean, that's a
It
horrible
was just
tragedy
really,
and all, but
it was kind of a lame trailer. I like me a good zombie movie, but
for sure.
this may not be that. A good zombie movie.
Let us briefly discuss Multiverse of Madness at the end of this.
Oh man, I can't. I haven't seen it yet.
So let's see. The House panel is going to be held on UFOs, guys. We're going to sort it out.
Yeah. They're
Didn't we already
finally
do this twice.
No, this is the first time it's open to the public. So we can line up and it will be just like watching, those local city council meetings where someone comes to complain that there used to be daffodils on 12th Street but isn't anymore, except for UFOs.
Cool. Or we're gonna see a whole bunch of people who don't understand lensing artifacts, basically.
Well, I mean, and Navy radar reports about
What kills me
contacts with
is
things.
when it was
stuff
Trump
like that.
yammering about this bullshit, all the right wing was quiet about it, and the Democrats were saying, "I can't believe that he's going to prioritize this when we have a lot to worry about." Now it's the other way around, so the Republicans are going. I'm like,
I mean,
this is just a stupid distraction.
Of course, there was a coup. We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about a coup. We're not talking about the inflation.
We're not talking about the Supreme Court.
But the aliens, dude.
Yeah,
the aliens.
Definitely aliens.
Honestly, and I want to be clear, I would rather talk about Yetis.
Well, then let's do that.
Well, big feet.
Big feet.
Aren't they the same?
Sorry. Is that offensive?
Is that racist?
Is that racist to Yetis?
Is it specious to it's Bigfoots and Yetis?
That sounds like an anti-Scandinavian talking point.
Well, I guess it depends on if you think, if you believe that they exist, whether or not they're a hominid or an ape. Right.
So, all I'm going to say, this is in Chelsea, Michigan.
It is. And I talked to my wife about it, and we're going to go.
Yeah?
Yes, we are absolutely going to go.
No.
And,
that's so cool.
And see the crazy.
It's
I'm not going to pay $100, though. I'm not going to pay $100 to have a meal with a Bigfoot luminary. I'll pay $45. Very, very reluctantly to walk around and see what's there.
And there's also a McDonald's across the street from the Comfort Inn, just for the record.
Dude, Cliff could walk here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is like 12 minutes from my house.
I'll pay for your tickets. I'll be honest with you. I just want someone to go.
I would love to go to this, but can you imagine a more obvious super spreader event?
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Bigfoot is naturally immune to COVID, Rob. Do you know how many plagues the big feet have lived through?
As far as I know, either all of them or none of them.
Yes, the answer is all, Rob.
Or none.
Things to do.
All of them.
Cryptids. I wonder if there's like an agenda for this.
Well, there's undoubtedly an agenda, but I'm not sure there's a written one.
No, like, Bigfoot conference, UP Bigfoot conference.
Yeah, so
come on.
This is put on by hideandseekarchives.com.
What a great name, for all of our creativity, we didn't come up with that bullshit.
All right.
Yeah.
So where is this hide and seek archive? Hide and seek. Why is it so hard to find?
And it's not just Bigfoot though.
No, it's everything.
We're also going to be talking about other strange animals.
Yeah.
Like the jackalope, UFOs,
chupacabra,
and other paranormal phenomena.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean by the jackalope. I mean, that's real.
I know. I've seen the stuffed one myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I should show you the picture of me riding a jackalope. I was in Wyoming, and I had a chance.
I can't wait to browse through all the different books.
Yeah.
DVDs and local artwork. If they have, I am absolutely getting a Bigfoot plaque made by a local artisan if one is available to me.
If there's merch.
Oh,
yeah, there's merch.
Can you imagine if they have Sasquatch oil? I'm absolutely
oil
that.
Sasquatches?
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
well, I mean, look, all that hair is going to take a lot of moisturizing. They have to have a secret to do it out in the wild.
Honey.
Jackalope.
There you go. See?
Proof.
Real.
Totally real.
Proof.
You can't stuff that.
You can't stuff that.
What are you going to just make that? You can't just make that.
Right. I mean, come on.
All right. So
that's not a fake gun.
Firestarter is getting a new show.
I can't wait. Friday. Today.
I didn't know really about this except that every Friday I get like 3 hours of new music from a couple of playlists, and in there's a whole bunch of Jon Carpenter. I'm like, right on. It's nice to hear some Jon Carpenter Firestarter soundtrack. He didn't direct it, right? He just did the sound.
I can't wait for this. I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, I get Stephen King's tweets. He is one of the people I follow, so
he's a gem.
I saw this.
He's a national treasure.
He does seem to have transitioned from like crazy old cokehead to like America's like salty grandpa. Pretty well.
He's sort of creepy, not creepy and like, perverted, but just like scary grandpa is what he has turned into,
But it's very self-aware.
Oh, yeah.
He knows his place, and I respect that.
Was there a Strange New Worlds on last night?
Yes. Let's get through two more things, and then we'll get those are I'm saving the good stuff, man. What's the Firestarter show on?
The internet.
Peacock.
Peacock.
Oh, knows what a Peacock.
Paramount. Oh.
Paramount. That's lame.
All right. So I guess before we go into the rest of the Star Trek, James Cromwell, he super glued his hands to a Starbucks in protest.
Price rises of
non-dairy milk.
Yeah.
I loved this.
This is everything.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
He took care of the pig in the city.
Yeah.
He invented warp drive, and he really, really, really doesn't think you should raise the price of almond milk.
About this,
no,
it didn't happen in Montana, where Zephyr Cochrane lives. It happened in New York City, which was destroyed during the eugenics wars, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know how this happened.
In all fairness, though,
time travel.
The eugenics wars occurred in the 90s, so we've all forgotten about that now.
Oh, right. Sorry, it was World War III or I don't know. It's hard. Timelines are all messed up.
It's hard to keep track of the Kelvin timeline and the prime line.
And the plant milk timeline.
Yeah. Maybe so that's his deal.
Creating warp drive. The guy is, super gluing himself to Starbucks.
Yeah, he's a plant-based milk warrior, is what he is.
Yeah. Right there with,
I gotta say, good for him.
History. Con.
That ain't
for him. We need more almond milk.
Yeah.
We need more almonds. It's sustainable. It's good for the environment. More almonds, please.
Aren't almonds actually really bad for the environment?
Yes, that's my point.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you. I'm sorry, I didn't detect sarcasm.
I was talking.
Oh. Fair enough.
So that's how you usually tell.
So yeah, you've got the Elon Musk thing up.
It's so funny.
The
He's
Twitter.
Like, no, I'm still doing it, but like, man, it's those guys are sketchy.
Well, but also at this point, any excuse to get out of this. You're gonna want to get an excuse out of this, since how far down is Twitter falling? It was like 20 or 40% off. I am not a financial person. Don't take financial advice from me. But like, it's pretty far off of the purchase price, right?
Yeah. So the purchase price was what, 40-something billion?
Was it 44 a share, or was it?
Yeah, no, it's 54 a share.
Oh wow! So it's $13 off the purchase price.
Well, I mean, so Musk is like, crap, I should have saved some money. I should have waited 1 week.
Right? Could have bought it for a song.
Could
have had Grimes write it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the market is a little bit unsure if the Twitter purchase is going to go through.
Do not look at your portfolio.
I do not want to look at my portfolio.
Look back in like 4 years. That's fine.
I don't look at my portfolio when I can avoid it, but a couple times a week, something happens and you just have to know. Okay. So yeah, maybe that deal's going to happen. Maybe that deal's not going to happen. It is interesting.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You care?
I have no horse in this race, but it is a significant event in social media and in in civil discourse. I think that this is going to have far-reaching implications.
I agree. I think that Starbucks all over the world are going to reduce their price for plant-based milks,
and they're going to make their counters out of neoprene, So the
He
super glue
ends
won't
up with a
stick.
fuzzy hand, and he goes to the Sasquatch conference, and he's like,
Or
"Look, proof."
what if it just, constantly oozes a little bit of acetone, so you can
Ooh,
never
Yeah.
glue your hand to it, right?
ooh,
And
ooh.
it'll be so clean. It'll be the
Yeah.
cleanest Starbucks in
That's right.
Starbucks land.
I mean, the fumes might be a little bit excessive, but whatever.
Maybe that will inspire him to create warp drive.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what it took. All right. Speaking of warp drives, Brave New World. Who watched?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
Sure, I watched it.
So did I. What'd you think?
Ending, not mending.
So I will say I didn't intend for it to be a background show for me,
Mhm.
but it ended up being a background show because I had some stuff
You've
dealing with in the
had
house.
a week.
But I really liked this episode. I thought it got back more towards what you would expect from a regular Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
You can
Oh, I thought you
argue
were talking about
about
the Brave New World thing from. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Brave New World show that's coming out.
Anson Mount Star Trek.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I haven't seen that either, but that's cool. I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one.
yeah, so you can argue about whether or not what happened is, stupid or not or janky.
There was
But
some issues, but whatever.
but on the whole, I liked it. It was what you would expect from an old school Star Trek show.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I didn't feel like this one was a soap opera Star Trek. Yeah, it was. It was decent. If you like Star Trek, you would like this episode.
Did
That
they
was
mirror image or Mirror World Section 32
No,
or
nothing.
they did all of the things that
They've
Star
been
Trek
missing?
should do.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
They had
Looking forward to it.
you've heard me say this 100 times. A cast of people who generally like and respect each other, optimistically traveling through space and encountering interesting science fiction premises in an
Yeah,
episodic nature.
Sometimes
They did
they-
all of that.
that's what the aliens. Yeah.
They find a problem. They go to solve it, which I think is going to be easy. As they start to try to solve that problem, it becomes very complex
Mm.
and different than they thought, and then ends in a way that no one sort of expected. And at the end, they're like, "Well,
I've
I
learned something.
guess we learned something. We were wrong."
And
I
they
don't
don't
know,
solve it. They don't solve it
Yeah,
by
they
one of
don't.
the characters crying and talking
Or
about their
murdering.
feelings.
Did Alison Pill murder anybody?
And in fact, they don't solve it at all.
No, they kind of don't.
What they have at the end is a mystery. They're like, "Yeah, I don't know. We don't know."
Yeah.
But it turned out okay. Next episode. See you later.
Yep. There was I can absolutely see anybody who watches this getting a couple of eye rolls with some hand wavy tech. But you know what, man? You watch those old original series, and that's every episode. So
Yeah.
But so they did a great job. The opening scene is a charming little character building moment for Uhura.
Nice.
And then the episode is not all about her dramatic backstory. It is about the events of the episode for which her backstory plays a key component. But it's not bogged down in it. It
Can I
feels
guess?
it feels light.
Episode? Was she the barista at the Starbucks?
She was not the barista. She can speak 37
Fired her.
languages.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Have you been to a Starbucks in New York? I mean, that could come in handy.
That's true. You can take orders in every language. So yeah,
sorry, sir. I don't set the prices. I mean,
I understand. No, I was tickled. I enjoyed the episode a lot. I'm in. It feels like the original series, like Ambalu just said. It feels like the original series. The modern version of it. It's leaning on that harder than the next generation, and I'm all in for that. It's fun.
it's
Also, The Kids in the Hall premiered today.
yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but
Well, it's really
Me
the octogenarians.
Yep.
And
In the hall.
or I mean, was it
Or
good?
out
I
front.
haven't watched that. That's hopefully in my afternoon.
You watched it, Robert?
I have not. I thought it had come out already because I was looking for something to watch last night. But it was just the trailer on Amazon.
Mm.
Back after 30 years.
Do either of you guys ever watch Hacks?
No.
No.
They just season 2 premiered. It's really funny. It's got
About programmers?
no, it's about comedians.
Ah,
An
I can
older comedian, Jean Smart, and she's like the washed up hack who's been on Vegas for decades and telling the same jokes, and the young upstart comedian who wants to break into the business. It's
does it have a Maisel type of vibe then?
So this is, you could without too much difficulty imagine Gene Smart's character being Maisel after mad success 40, 50 years from now.
Alright.
But like she maybe had an edge in her youth, but her edge still exists, but her act has remained stagnant.
There's a lot of so-so names in this.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
The bird girl from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. She's the daughter, the drug-addicted daughter of the star who
That
takes
makes a lot of
pictures of her mom and sells them to tabloids and tries to sell her line of jewelry.
I
So
love
super
that.
shitty. Right in line for Sweet D.
Yeah, it's perfect, Sweet D.
Okay, the only other thing that I had on my list was Multiverse of Madness. I did see it.
You did?
I did.
You like it?
I liked it a lot. It's absolutely middle of the road Marvel stuff. It's, I will say, to Rob's general disgust of things multiversal and time travel-y, it's surprisingly not a lot of that.
Yeah. Given the title?
It's almost entirely occurring in our universe and one other universe, where they spend most of Act 2 and a hunk of our Act 3. So it's really like two universes. They do travel through others. There's a few brief moments in other ones. The opening sequence occurs in another universe, but it is generally not like, I was fully expecting an hour and a half where they spend 5 minutes hopping from one episode of What If to the next. And I was kind of afraid that was what was going to happen, but that's not what happened.
I don't know. The only thing I've read about it was someone complaining that it shows the Scarlet Witch as a toxic mother.
I mean, that there's part of that. And I wouldn't even say that's really what they're trying to say.
I assume it's not what they're trying to say.
I mean, okay, I don't know how spoilery you guys are comfortable.
I've read the entire plot.
All
I
right.
don't care.
I'm not really paying attention, so go.
All right. Well, yeah, and Amblu's pointing out the Sam Raimi-ness. The third act is basically like one click away from it's PG-13 Evil Dead for a while. Like demon monsters crawling everywhere, like crazy camera angles. Wanda straight up does a like a demonite movement in a few scenes. It's fun.
You shall die.
I think that the fans are going to mostly be bitchy about the Illuminati, which I thought was the most fun part of the movie, because it's just, here's all the cameos. Like we've stepped into the room of cameos.
We've officially brought the X-Men in. Thank you.
Yeah, when they bring in Patrick Stewart, though, like they musically in the background they play the theme from the '90s cartoon show.
Really?
And he's riding around on an electric wheelchair like he rode around. Like it's the 90s.
And it's like bright yellow.
The animated series. That's the Patrick Stewart that's on there.
It's very Kirk's.
So Reed Richards is in his outfit, his Fantastic Four outfit.
Reed Richards has got his 4 on his chest.
Wow.
Did you guys know who's playing him?
No, you can tell me though.
It's Krasinski.
Wow, that's cool.
I
guess.
So the problem with he has the biggest problem because he's supposed to be the smartest man in the world.
Reed Richards.
He's supposed to be the smartest man in the world, and he does the stupidest thing you could possibly do. And there's a good reason for it that, if you think about it, like for a second, makes sense. But he shouldn't have done that, because one of the other cameos is Anson Mount.
Ooh, wait, from Inhumans?
Yeah. And
is he mute the whole time?
He is awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He has the best. He gets the best moment in that scene, in the whole Illuminati scene.
I have to watch Inhumans to watch.
No, nor should you.
Okay, good.
You should just know that Anson Mount was the Inhumans, and then you should pretend that like you already saw the show and it was really good.
Okay,
because it wasn't. But no, I enjoyed the last Spider-Man more. But this is way better than like the Eternals, which was not particularly fun. And more fun than 90% of Shang-Chi. I enjoyed it tremendously.
I would go see it, but I don't want to infect everybody.
You have an excuse.
I was kind of gonna like play hooky and skip school and go see it, but
you should. I think you should probably wait until you can spit clean for a couple of days.
Yeah, not infect the entire theater.
That
this is the one's going around though.
This one's fast. Let's rock and roll. Thanks for hanging, Chris DeBona.
Thank you for hanging with me.
And you as well, Rob Roseboom.
See ya.
I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. That was episode 717 of Geeks in Space, and we'll see you next week, maybe. Bye.